What's good, family? I'm back today with the worst deck ever. I cut 6 cards. I cut the 6 cards I said I was gonna cut in my previous video, and I'm just gonna do some test hands. None of this stuff is. It's already been shuffled. I just cut it again, just so you guys know that these hands aren't made up, and it really even haven't been sorted from the deck profile. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 hands going first, 2 hands going second, and we're gonna show you how bad this deck is. So let's go first. Raiden, Gizmek, Boots, which you never want to see. Oh, Cursed Eldlin, okay, and Sybil Skeleton. So what's crazy is that we actually have combos, right? And I'm gonna show you what they are. So the first thing is we're gonna normal summon the Raiden. The Raiden's going to use this effect and mill 2 cards. Babble. And, ooh. Hate to see it. We only play 2 field spells. But would have probably been better is if I would use that Eldlin. Doesn't really matter, though. We're going to lose 8 cards. I just want to see what they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, yeah. 7 and 8. We're going to summon the Gizmek. And then from there we go into the Hulk. Hulk's effect will get the Bombard. Wherever the Bombard is. And so, without Babble, this is going to be a weird hand. But we'll get the Bombard, who is in the deck. So we'll get Bombard. Because we have the skeleton in hand, right? So, if you just want another body, you can link off the Bombard for the Link Karibo. And then banish the Bombard to special summon the skeleton. So from here, we go Galatea. We'll go Galatea's effect to put the Bombard back in deck and to set the return. So we still have 2 cards in our hand. We still have the Odin and the... So now what we're going to do is we're going to link into the Rusty. Alright, we're going to use the Rusty to send the Cloak and set Fogblade number 1. Then we're going to banish the Cloak, because again, like at this point you've run through the whole engine. The engine's only 3 cards, so you're gonna get the other Boots, who can be used as discard fodder or whatever for Unicorn if we can get to IP. Right? Now we're gonna actually, and we are definitely getting the IP, so we're gonna actually banish to bring back the Galatea. Or maybe not. We'll see. We'll see what happens, because there's a reason we set this return. We're gonna actually go Dingirsu, because even here we don't have access to Babel. So what we really don't want is to make the IP and then do nothing with it. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to attach with the Ding, and there's 2 ways you can go about this. You can actually use Rusty's effect to target the Ding, attach it, and then detach. But in this case, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to keep the Ding, because we don't have anything to make the IP. And in the good version, we would just make Dragoons here and still have the skeleton live, but it really doesn't matter how we do it here. So we're going to return. And we didn't add use Eldlin for a very specific reason, right? So we drew I didn't shuffle. Let me shuffle first because I just put the Bombard back on top. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And we're gonna draw 2 cards. So Foolish Burial, which isn't half bad, right? And so this actually is pretty dope, right? Because now we have like access to the full Eldlik engine, and this Foolish Burial is actually not bad either. So what we're going to do is we're going to play. So we are going to make the IP, but it's just I just didn't initially plan on it. So we can actually activate Eldlin here, because we're going to get everything. Search the Lord, because now we have interaction during our opponent's turn. That's what we like to see. Right? Then we can go Foolish. And because we hadn't used Nightmare this turn, this deck is so bad, but it does so much. We'll send the Nightmare to the grave. Remember, we can't special the Golden Lord, so having it in hand is fine, right? So we'll banish, target the Rusty to send the wand. We'll use the wand to bring back the Nightmare. Then we'll special summon the boots because we need access to the second Fog Blade, right? We'll link those off. And again, it could be Barricade, Board Blocker. It could be anything. But IP is not half bad. So, because again, we're not going to be able to use it. So, but we just need to have the material out. So we're going to use Golden Lord, target the Eldlin. And that'll send either Guardian or Conch, which is fine. So we'll send Conquistador because we're going to get it all anyway. We'll then banish the 1 boots in our graveyard that we just sent for the last piece of our engine. This combo is actually going on pretty long. I was expecting it to just like fizzle out, but for the Fog Blade. And then you can banish the Elixir to get a Conquistador, and then at the end phase, because I don't think there's anything else I can do, we could add the Golden Lord back to our hand if we just really wanted to, but there's no need. We'll banish Conquistador to set the Scarlet Sanguine. So from that terrible hand, we end up on Rusty, 2 Fog Blades, Eldlik Interruption, and an IP with a card in hand if we could Unicorn, but since we can't Unicorn, it's irrelevant. We actually could Unicorn if we just wanted to sacrifice the Conquistador and hold the Eldlin. So depending on what you have, you can use this just surely defensively, and then use this as a Unicorn play to ditch the last card. The Fog Blades actually provide extra protection as well, because as soon as Rusty leaves the field or our opponent tries to deal with game, we can actually use Fog Blade and Scarlet as 2 ways to prevent getting OTK. So that's the first combo, guys. These combos are actually, that shouldn't have been that long, but what should have been like a 2-minute combo turned into a 10-minute combo. And that's just kind of like some of the stuff this deck can do. I want to do one more test hand. I'm just going to draw the hand. I won't play it out just to see whether we can get to this combo, quote unquote, a different way. So let's see if we can do that. And I'm actually going to shuffling with one hand, even though I got big hands, it's pretty difficult. So I'm going to go and do the old two-hand shuffle because we did do a lot there. And as y'all saw from the Gizmic banish, we really did banish like 8 cards of just all the same stuff, 3 allures and all of that. So let's just say we won that game, right? And let's see, our opponent's gonna go first. So let's see if we can do anything with the first 5 cards. Again, these 1-ofs are crazy. Gizmic's okay. Girsu's okay. So this is looking just like an Orcust hand. The Raiden again. And the Golden Lord. So going first, this hand's obviously like crazy. We can do quite a bit of stuff because it's just Orcust combo, a couple different directions. Going second, we draw the 6th card, and that's so now we have the interruption, so we can force negates unless we're in the like shifter or something. Dweller also hurts this deck really bad. So like depending on what our opponent's inboard are, we have a few options. Let's see. Whose board ends? Dragon Links is pretty popular right now, so the Appaloosa would hurt this a little bit. I'm not sure which direction I would go, to be honest. So, depending on the inboard, let's say the Girsu is useless and we want to draw more cards, right? A lot of times people don't stop draw cards for some reason. I don't know why they do that. And now we have droplets, and we have this rocket card that's pretty useless. So what's crazy is that we now have an out to the rest of that board because they didn't negate, because they don't think we have anything. So here you can actually go Raiden's effect, and I don't think people want you to mill because they don't know what your deck does, right? So I mean, you have so many dropless targets. You can just drop these 2 off most likely because they're the worst cards in your hand. If that makes any sense. And then we want to mill 2. So we lose another droplets. And we lose a quick launch. Right? So now and you can actually lose the Golden Lord if you want a combo. Like, so you can negate their entire board. Then you could set this Golden Lord's effect. It gives you a way to access Golden Lord again. And this is just Halki Fibrex into Orcust combo, because you would go Hulk into Bombard into Galatea, use the Gizmic, and you can either make Galatea and Gizmic into Rusty and set some back row, or you could. There's so many odd ways to go about this. But personally, I would just like to keep the Golden Lord in hand. I mean, keep the Golden Lord in gray, so I wouldn't even set this up. I'd probably use the Gizmic, just because now, if I can't do anything, we can actually clear their board like this, right? It's like if it's just Dragon Link board, you can actually just clear the board and then combo off main phase 2, because I mean you're gonna lose 8 cards. 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. Did we lose 8? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, we didn't lose Bombard, and that's really all that would matter for that combo, is to like not lose Bombard. So you can clear and end on a decent board, and you'll be backed by a Scarlet or whatever. You don't get a full Orcust combo with the extra extensions and things like that because you weren't able to banish any of your stuff. But you actually come out with some kind of board. And again, this is with me cutting the Chaos Engine. So personally, you could put 4 dangers in there. That was my first consideration. There's a bunch of things we can do with this deck. It's still the worst deck ever, but it does some neat things, and I'm kind of glad I played it. So if you guys enjoyed this type of odd combo video where I just do test hands, none of this stuff is preset. I just want to show you how I actually draw with these decks. Give me some feedback. Let me know what's going on. And remember, consider joining that Discord 60 card court where we can really get it popping, guys, because I don't mind. I have a nice work schedule where I can play all afternoon, half the night away, and still be fine. So thank you, everybody, for their support who is supporting, and for those who haven't supported yet, don't know what you're missing out on, man. This is your boy VE to the double LE, and I'm signing out.